Today, I am taking you behind the scenes of my Alaska book pages, explaining the artwork, research, and stories that went into creating one of the most biggest and ambitious state sections I've illustrated. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This Alaska chapter ended up becoming one of my largest sections in my entire United States book, and honestly, I think that's fitting. Alaska is unlike anywhere else in America. Its scale, wildlife, indigenous cultures, industries, and landscapes deserve, deserve far more than just a page or two. If you enjoy artwork, geography, American history, and behind the scenes videos like this, consider subscribing because I'm working through every state in the country, one state at a time. So let's dive in. So, when I started designing Alaska, I didn't want to create something that felt like your normal travel brochure. My goal has always been to tell stories through illustration. I want each state to feel alive. When someone flips through these pages years from now, I want them to feel like they've stepped into Alaska, not just read a list of facts. That means balancing geography, wildlife, history, indigenous cultures, transportation, industry, and everyday life into one cohesive chapter. The very first page introduces one of Alaska's biggest lifelines fishing. I drew a commercial vessel because fishing is woven into Alaska's identity. From salmon runs to deep sea fisheries, entire communities depend on these waters. The, the paragraph beside the ship talks about conservation because healthy fisheries only exist through responsible management. I wanted readers to understand that fishing isn't simply about grabbing the fish, it's about protecting a resource so you can have more fish in the future. You'll also notice the bush plane. It's one of those things that makes Alaska unique. For most Americans, driving is simply part of everyday life. In Alaska, many villages aren't able to be connected by roads at all. Bush pilots deliver groceries, medicine, supplies, mail, and even transport patients during emergencies. They're an essential part of life in remote communities, and I wanted to respect just how important these small airplanes really are. I also included Denali, the Forget Me Not, and the Willow ptarmigan. These are iconic symbols of Alaska, and they helped establish the state's identity right away. I also scattered smaller facts throughout the page instead of putting everything into one large block of text. Readers can discover nat- things naturally while exploring the artwork. The next page focuses heavily on wildlife. I don't think you can create an Alaska chapter without bears. So instead of drawing a single grizzly, I drew a mother with her cub. Immediately, it tells a story protection, family, life continuing into the second generation. The moose also has to appear. People don't really prepare you for how enormous moose actually are. They're among the largest members of the deer family, and found through much all of Alaska. I also included the bald eagle, puffin, Sitka spruce, and Alaska's state flower. Each one has its own short educational section. I like giving readers little discoveries that they might have not known before. One detail many people don't realize is that Alaska doesn't use counties the same way most states do. Instead, much of the state isn't divided into boroughs. Including that map seemed like a nice opportunity to teach something many readers have never seen or encountered before. One page features a totem pole. While researching Alaska, I learned that many people misunderstand totem poles represent. Historically, many served as records of family history, ancestry, important events, and identity. They're incredible works of art and storytelling. I wanted accompanying text to reflect that respectfully. Dog sledding was probably one of the most enjoyable illustrations to create. There's so much movement. Each dog has its own pose and personality. The musher isn't simply riding along, they're working together as a team. Dog sledding isn't just something tourists watch. For generations, it connected remote communities across snow covered landscapes. And today, races like the Iditarod help preserve that tradition. One of my biggest priorities throughout the chapter was giving Alaska's indigenous peoples meaningful spaces. Rather than combining everyone into a single paragraph, I wanted several separate scenes representing different cultures. The Inupiat page focuses on life in the Arctic, a father and his son repairing a sled, working together, teaching future generations, learning practical skills needed for survival, knowledge passed from father to son. The Yupik page shifts towards dance and celebration. Culture isn't only survival, it's music, community, language, stories. Those traditions deserve just as much attention. The Athabascan page focuses on preparing fish for a meal. I especially like how the dad is teaching his son how to clean a fish carefully. The little speech bubble about avoiding the gallbladder adds a small everyday moment that makes the illustration feel natural rather than staged. Meanwhile, another family member prepares food nearby. Everyone works together, and the result is wonderful. The Tlingit page, uh, Tlingit centers around storytelling. I love storytelling, so this page was really fun for me. Rather than just showing history through books, it shows elders sharing their stories around the fire to grandchildren. Those stories preserve wisdom, identity, and family history. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever visited Alaska? If you have, what was your favorite part? And if you haven't, what's the first thing you'd like to see? Let me know in the comments because I'm always interested in hearing other people's experiences. Another page compares Alaska to the lower 48. Most people don't know Alaska is large, but seeing it stretched across the continental United States really puts its size into perspective. That visual comparison immediately changes how people think of the state. The Northern Lights were probably the most relaxing illustration to paint. I wanted them to feel soft, almost like almost like a dream. The aurora isn't a solid object. It's constantly shifting and glowing. Hopefully that page captures just a little bit of the feeling. Below the lights, I included a cruise ship scene. Alaska's scenery attracts millions of visitors from all over the world. Glaciers, mountains, wildlife, coastal towns. Cruising has become one of the most popular ways to experience all of that. I even included a tiny polar bear cub out on the ice that added a little humor to the page. Towards the end, I covered another part of Alaska's modern identity. Oil. I didn't want this chapter to focus only on wilderness. Modern Alaska also includes industry, engineering, and energy production. The oil fields and pipelines have shaped the state's economy for decades, so I felt they deserved representation along with wildlife and culture. You'll probably recognize Esther if you've been following this project. I enjoy using recurring characters because they help tie the entire book together. Here, she is spending time with her husky, enjoying the Alaska winter landscape. It's in another illustration. Uh, there's a Eskimo ice fishing while a curious polar bear decides her catch looks pretty tempting. That little joke adds some personality and reminds readers that not every has to be completely serious. Researching Alaska took far longer than I expected. There is simply so much to learn: the geography, wildlife, fishing industry, transportation, production, indigenous cultures, climate, history, and the burrow system. Every time I thought I was finished researching, I discovered another fascinating topic. Honestly, Alaska could fit an entire book by itself if it wanted to. Looking back now, I can already see areas where I improved as an artist. Some animals look better than others, some backgrounds are stronger than others. If I were to do look back at Alaska, I'd probably redraw a few things. But that's part of what makes this project. That's part of making a project this large. You continue, you grow by continuing to create, not by waiting until everything is perfect. More than anything, I hope these pages encourage curiosity. If someone finishes this chapter wanting to learn more about Alaska, or visit someday, or simply appreciate how different life can be in the same country, then I feel like I accomplished what I set out to do. That's what this entire book is about: helping people appreciate the incredible diversity of the United States through art and storytelling. If you enjoyed this commentary, I would really like if you left a like. It helps more people discover these videos. And if you'd like to follow the journey as I continue illustrating the country one state at a time, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next state.